This program is intended for mature audiences only.
You are now listening to Observable Radio.
And welcome back to Scarred for Life, the podcast where we discuss strange surgeries from the botched to the beautiful. I'm Terry.
And I'm Mary Beth.
And praise Amygdala, we have got a guest that we have been trying to get for ages. And I don't know about you, Mary Beth, but I'm so excited that we finally got them.
We really are. This has been a dream come true to have him on the show. You've heard of his work on an international level as he smashed into pop culture consciousness with his own podcast, Shaping the Human Form, a personal favorite of mine. And he was featured on the latest cover of Bodybuilders Monthly. You know how much we love them. Thanks for sponsoring the show, by the way. I am so pleased to announce Dr. Septimus Pretorius. Welcome to the show!
Hey y'all, it's that time of the week again. Time for Skull Tenders, the podcast for cranial modification enthusiasts. I'm your host, Cohen Edenfield, and today's episode is brought to you by Mandiglide. Mandiglide, because a smooth jaw hinge shouldn't be a luxury. I'm joined today, as always, by my co-host, Jess O'Brien.
Thank you, Cohen. Hello, listeners. I'm Jess O'Brien, cranium collector and connoisseur. And also with me today, as always, is Amber Carr.
Oh, thank you, Jess. I'm Amber Carr, therapeutic concussion expert and craniotome artisan. And we are joined, once again, by the illustrious Casey Green.
Thank you, Amber. And I am Casey Green, phrenology expert and trepanation enjoyer.
All right, Skull Tenders, today we are talking air pockets and bone weevils. Which is worse? I'm going to wait to give my answer, because I got both.
How the fuck did you get in here? Oh, I see. So it goes.
You're not exactly what we expected.
I didn't expect to get shot. I guess we both died disappointed.
I'm not gonna shoot you. Just don't know what you are, yet.
I live here. You're the one who should be explaining yourself to me.
I recognize your voice. You recognize mine?
Process of elimination. You're speaking words, so you're not the other one.
You have no idea how lucky you are that I'm not. I'm gonna trust my instincts that you are what you, appear to be.
And what's that?
Human. Ignorant, human, and alone.
Yeah. 3 for 3. And what does that make you?
Just human. Most of the others thought we should let you die here. Collapse the space with you in it. But the remaining regions decided you were worth the risk. So, as long as you cooperate, I'm here to rescue you.
Why should I trust you?
Because the alternative is that I leave you here, and either this existence collapses or the adversary reaches you first. Look, you don't have to trust me. You just have to want to live for the next 10 minutes.
Persuasive. Fine. What next?
Let's go outside. We have some work to do before the end here.
Who's we?
Humanity. The organized resistance. The ones you tried to erase. Ah, come on. I'll introduce you around. They'd, love to meet you.
Please, don't take her.
Oh, no.
Don't take her away.
You can't do this! What gives you the right?
To be frank, sir and ma'am, you knew this was a possibility when you completed the paperwork to have a child by natural means.
No.
One gene. It's one gene. Only one gene matches.
Yes, that's true. But that gene has been patented by the Hest family for at least the past 7 generational cycles. And as a result, the infant is now legally property of the Hest dynasty. This is the law.
Isn't there something we can do?
You technically have the right to retest and appeal. If, and this is a huge if, it is determined that the original test was at fault.
These are all your people? From the same world as you?
No. Most of these are refugees, like I am. Survivors of cold worlds.
After he is... Shit. That him?
He's harmless, okay? Back off. He didn't know.
That gonna bring them back?
Take a walk, Tor. Power down the ossifiers. He grows on you.
Looking forward to it. You feel like explaining any of this yet?
I assume you've put some of it together, but let's lay out the foundations. The comet set you adrift. When it punched through the foundation of the universe, it unmade 1,000 worlds, cut holes in the rest. You should not have survived. This sphere of space should not have been stable for more than a picosecond. You were improbably fortunate.
Yeah, well, I feel very fortunate right now.
How close were you to walking out of here, into the darkness?
5 minutes, maybe less. Had my boots on.
When we cross worlds, we do it carefully. It takes the energy of a sun and precise calculations of every conceivable variable. This darkness is a raw wound in the universe. When we encounter them, we close them as fast as we can. We have no idea what's out there because no one has ever come back. We're very fortunate I arrived first.
The other one, you said, that's the voice I've been hearing.
If it wants to be heard, it will be heard. But it does not always wish to be understood.
What is it?
Put 2 survivors in a room and you'll have 3 answers. I can tell you what we know to be true. It acts with perfect coordination across infinite worlds. We have no way of detecting it unless it wants to be perceived, and what it appears to want is the destruction of human civilization.
Oh.
Some of the refugees took to calling it a demon. Put it in a box, make it feel small. I think it's just as likely God, old and filled with regret. We didn't know it existed until it struck, but it almost certainly predates the visible universe. It was silent until the Commonwealth was established, the first and last organized coalition of parallel worlds. Once the doors between the worlds were opened, it flowed in from the outside. The Commonwealth collapsed all at once. Member worlds went silent or screamed in agony. There's no way to comprehend the amount of human lives that were ended. A grand, diverse coalition of empires and their client worlds lost forever. Not just lives, 1 trillion museums, moldering on dead worlds we can no longer reach. We're a fraction of what remains, but we've survived this far. And now there's you, coming with the comet on that awful signal, like a stake hammered through the universe. And then, when we beg you to simply do nothing, put your fingers in the crack, tore it wide.
Huh. So I guess you are mad about that.
Did we lose it?
I don't know. I need to catch my breath.
How did it get so far inland? Isn't it supposed to be too heavy for that?
I said, I don't know.
Ah! Run, 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 run!
I don't think you understood what you were doing, and I believe that you did not intend what happened. The comet was already an apocalyptic event, the work of a vengeful god. It stretched our tenuous organization near to breaking, but the wound was closing. We lost hundreds of worlds, but our adversary was losing its advantage. Again, I know you were just trying to save yourself, but when you amplified the adversary's signal, you did so with all the energy coiled up at the edge of this space. All the potential energy of a collapsed world. You cauterized the gap in the universe and then held it open. A worst-case scenario we hadn't yet dreamed.
I had no way of knowing. I never would
I can see that, which is why we're having this conversation, and why we're preparing an exit for you. We're going to collapse this space, and the rest of your station along with it. But the damage is done. Our best hope now is that our adversary can't learn anything from you.
Me? Why? What makes me special?
We're going to find out. But you're an anomaly, an impossibly improbable existence. There were more of you at first. More survivors in other towers, cut adrift in the darkness. We failed to reach them before they vanished. You're the last. unique among uniques. Whatever secrets you hold cannot be allowed into the adversary's grasp.
Look at me. Christ, what could possibly be special about me?
Oh, don't think you're not a disappointment. You were the closest any of us have been to the adversary in action, and you just watched.
Okay.
You never tried to warn those worlds. Never thought of fighting back. You only thought about saving yourself.
How could I hope to fight a god?
We fight by surviving and helping other humans survive. You didn't even try.
What about Trapper? Is there a chance that...
Who?
They... In my world...
Your world, and every world adjacent to it, is gone. Even if they were here, we don't facilitate reunions.
God damn it.
I understand this is your first time, but it will happen again before the end.
That's right, folks. It's gonna be another scorcher. Triple digits for the 97th day running.
That's a record, isn't it?
Almost. Once we hit 101 days in a row, we'll have beat the previous record set 6 years ago. Now, please remember, folks, Spectre sightings and run-ins increase dramatically at temps above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and then the likelihood of running into them spikes exponentially for every degree after 100. With that, I'll toss it back to you, Steve, for some tips and tricks on how to stay safe this fall.
Thanks, Ursula. That's right, folks. We have the lowdown on how to protect yourself from heat coast run-ins. Right after this message from our sponsors.
Maheen! That's your door. Grab your shit.
Where are we going?
You are going to one of our safe worlds for study. It's scorched and ugly, but livable. We're gonna find out what happened here, how we can prevent it from ever happening again.
You're gonna cut me open.
I understand that your world was crude in its understanding of flesh, but you won't even notice when we poke around inside your head.
Honestly, that's not any better.
We want you alive, because when this is over, you have work to do.
What if I refuse? What if I want no part in this?
Humans have been fighting and dying to protect you since before you were born. You've always had a part in this. Once you've seen the war, you can't go back.
So, compulsory service. I'm being drafted in the war on God.
Nah, chin up. We're the apex predator of infinite worlds. Won't be easy, and it will hurt. Again and again. But surrender is the easy choice, and not one you get to make, especially not after what you've done. Now, you're gonna help us save the worlds that are left.
Have you heard what's out there? Cannibal worlds and hungry ghosts. Is that what you're trying to save?
The worlds we're fighting for are hidden, even from us. They will never be for us. We fight so they can survive.
The best of all possible worlds are closed.
If they were not, they would already be gone. This is a matter of human survival across all worlds.
But not all humans, right?
Sometimes slower worlds have to be sacrificed. Wars run on resources. Not every world can be reached or mobilized in time.
That sounds familiar.
All right, stand back. It's about to open. You'll be met by an escort on the other side. Assist you with the translation sickness.
Is there a version of me that is happy somewhere?
What an extraordinarily self-involved question.
Indulge me.
From an operations perspective, we keep alternates away from each other. Awful for morale for a variety of reasons, but if it helps, yes, somewhere you are happy. Does that matter?
Yeah, it does.
Well, may it bring you comfort in the days ahead.
Choke on it. Okay, here goes.
Whether you're looking for a permanent upgrade or just looking to wear a new body for the weekend, we've got fresh inventory on ice at all times. From brand new to vat grown to recently repossessed, you're bound to find what you're looking for.
The lottery is designed so that if both the adults are chosen, their dependents are subject to the call as well. It's rare, but it's the alternative that would be cruel.
Shortly after the flare was observed, there was a mass psychological event. I can't begin to understand the method at work, but anyone who was asleep seems to have shared an identical dream.
There's no chance of survival down there. Anyone who isn't underground is... The oceans have started to boil off. It's too late.
This is the last recorded message of the Provisional Protectorate. We cannot offer you food or water, but we can offer you a painless end. There is no shame in avoiding the indignity of a long death. We've all done our best, and it's time to lay the burden down.
You have been listening to Observable Radio. Tonight's episode, Signal, was performed by the ensemble, featuring Phil Van Hest, Terry Menard,
Mary Beth McAndrews,
Cohen Edenfield, Amber Carr, Jess O'Brien, Casey Green, John Grills, Kyle Gould, Maria Corcovado, Jason Smith, Katie Scovehold, Wendy Hector, Melissa Kay from Haunted Tales, David Wu, Ryan Easterday, Ray Whitty, Nathaniel Lee, Evan Drain, Purpurina, Hector Leal, Jesse Leal, Mink Et, Kai Trong, Liam Gregory, Ray Lundberg, and Paul Warren. Written, produced, and directed by Cameron Suey, Phil Van Hest, and Purpurina. Edited by Cameron Suey. Our psychology consultant is Dr. Elisa Leal. Art by Corinne Fletcher. Our theme is The Backrooms, performed by Mew. Additional music from this episode provided by Christian Anderson, Bad Billy Band, Christopher Moe Ditfison, Matilda June, Tim Kulik, Loving Caliber, Etienne Roussel, Silver Maple, and Sumwave. Additional sound design by Purpurina. Observable Radio is listener supported. Thanks to all of our patrons and listeners, including Kathleen, John, Jeff, Tid, Russ, Rick, Rachel, Callison, and Brianna. If you would like to contribute towards our production costs and payment for our voice actors, as well as get access to behind-the-scenes information, extra production material, and an ad-free early release feed of this show, you can do so at patreon.com/observableradio. Full transcripts and more available at observableradio.com. These are the final transmissions of our first season. We will continue releasing episodes each month, including standalone stories and behind-the-scenes looks at our production process. And stay tuned for news about our second season, coming in 2025. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned.
Crime in Italy, man. It's just me. You were grunting and sweating in your sleep.
Oh my god, Trapper, I had the worst dream.
Uh-huh. And you were there, and you were there, and so on and so on. Like, get a grip, dude. I mean, look, you drooled on your desk. Gross.